In this video, I'm going to walk you through Mark Rober's content playbook behind his massive success on YouTube. This is an inside look into his content strategy, thumbnail, titles, and everything behind this wonderful creator's success, and what you as a small creator can pick out, even if it's just 1%, to apply on your channel today to change your game if you are working on his style of content or you are in his niche of videos. Before we go into that, welcome to Build a Life on YouTube with Zeno the Great, and this is a series where we uncover the secrets and strategies behind all the biggest creators on YouTube and what you as a small creator can pick out from their channels and their strategies to change your game even as a small creator. Each episode we break down their strategies, success, and everything you need to know, and their content format so that you wouldn't have to go through the stress of discovering this thing for yourself. So in today's episode, we are going to look into one of the greatest scientists and content creator and entrepreneur, which is Mark Rober. So for some of you who doesn't know who Mark Rober is, I will give you a little breakdown of who he is so that you know why you need to watch this video and why he is important to your journey as a YouTuber. So Mark Rober is a former NASA engineer who transformed engineering and science education into one of the biggest entertainment brand on YouTube. So he worked at NASA Jet's Population Laboratory for 9 years, including work on the Curiosity rover. Later worked at Apple before becoming a full-time content creator and entrepreneur. The main niche of Mark Rober is science entertainment, engineering experiment, large-scale challenges, educational storytelling, and STEM education social experiments. So Mark Rober has approximately over 78 million subscribers as of today, being June 2026. Mark Rober's target audience are people under the age of 10 years to 45 years, and also students, parents, science enthusiasts, curious, casual viewers, and people who normally don't watch educational content. That will make sense a little more later in the video. Now, Mark Rober thumbnail system is something that is very, very unique. First of all, let's break it down from the color usage. Mark Rober uses bright yellow, bright red, electric blue, white highlights, high contrast background. And why does he do this? This instantly is visible for mobile users, and it creates excitement and energy, and also signals fun rather than classroom education. The facial expression in all Mark Rober's thumbnail is very, very crucial to his growth on YouTube. Mark Rober uses shock, amazement, excitement, curiosity, celebration, and his face often communicates, "You won't believe this," or "Look what happened to this." So that is the kind of things or the kind of facial expression that you expect to see when you are looking at a Mark Rober thumbnail. When you come to Mark Rober's thumbnail, you will see that he always uses one giant object or one giant experiment or one giant visual result. Human plus massive object plus clear outcome. Now, talking about the curiosity element that Mark Rober uses in his thumbnail, we can see that Mark Rober always rarely explains everything. So instead, he shows the results and hides the explanation. So viewers think, how did he do that? Did he actually do that? Or did it actually work? So he makes sure that he creates that curiosity element in a way that they have to watch the video to be able to understand what happened. So they will only see the chaos going on or what actually to expect from the video just mere looking at the thumbnail. Emotional triggers on his thumbnail has to do with wonder, awe, surprise, excitement, and anticipation, unlike news creators, Mark sells amazement. And talking about text usage on Mark Rober's thumbnails, he usually uses no text or minimum of 2 to 3 words maximum. The visual carries most of the message. So for visual storytelling, every thumbnail tells a mini story. Viewers can immediately identify a problem, identify an experiment, and identify a result. So once you're looking at a Mark Rober thumbnail, you can identify that actually there is a problem or there is an experiment about to go on. So even without you reading the title, you can identify that. So let's break down his title system. Is that most titles are simple. Example is about, what largest this, or the truth about this, or we tested that, or we tested this. Now for the curiosity gap on his title, Mark Rober rarely gives the answers. He gives you the setup and he also gives you the challenge. So he will say, I built this or I did this. Now, He will not give you the answer to that. He will not, from the title, you won't know if he actually finished it or if that was possible, but you have to click to be able to find out. The power words that he always uses in most of his titles are world's largest, impossible, real, secret, belt, tested, tricked, engineering, science. Now for the length of his titles, it always has to do with 5 to 12 words max, and very easy to understand. No complicated languages he uses and makes it simple. For his hook formula and his hook system, this is where it gets very interesting, and this is where you can be able to lock in your viewer and be able to get retention if you are building Mark Rober's style of content. From the opening technique, Mark Rober often starts with the biggest moments, the final result, the craziest ideas or the craziest visuals before explaining anything. So most of the time, if you click on his video, for example, if he's doing an experiment or where he's building a roller coaster, Mark Rober will start the video with the roller coaster crashing into something or busting into something, or the people on the roller coaster or the mannequin on the roller coaster crashing into a disastrous something. So he will make sure that he starts the video with that big moment, the biggest moment, the most hooking moment there, or the final result, or starting it with the final outcome of the video. Now once you see that this thing is really crazy or massive, you want to know what will happen, and then he will just cut it. So that is the hook of his video. That is what we mean by starting with the craziest visual or the biggest moment before explaining anything. Now the curiosity creation is how, why, did it work? As a viewer, you always get that question, did this actually work, or why did he do that? Okay, and he introduced stakes immediately. Example is, will the experiment work? Can the challenge be completed? Will engineering solve this problem? So you will see that Mark Rober always try to bring you up to book with what is going on. So for emotional engagement, he creates excitement, anticipation, and wonder. Within the first 10 seconds, you can be able to understand what is going on and you are excited for the remaining of the video. So for pacing, the first 30 seconds moves extremely fast. No long introduction, no channel history. For the visual techniques for his hook, he uses fast cuts, big visuals, motion, graphics, immediate demonstration of what is going to happen on the video. Let's talk about his storytelling style. Now Mark uses a documentary adventure format in his videos, and this has to do with big challenges, big processes, obstacle, testing, final payoff. You have to follow him. You have to take you through the process of building that science experiment or building that structure, from the processes, the challenges, the failures and everything that happened in the video, the things you need to know, and the success. You have to follow him through, and he will explain everything, telling you how it happened, how to do it, and everything you need to know. That is very sweet storytelling style. Now his retention technique has to do with constantly create new questions. For Mark, how he retains his audience is that, for example, he can be creating something and he'll be like, is that even possible? Or he'll be like, so we were having success in building this experiment until this happened and we were all frustrated. Now when he says that, you'll be like, wait, did he later overcome that challenge? Maybe it's something that crashed, maybe everything they were using to work just destroyed or crashed or spoiled or anything. And you start asking yourself, did he later finish the experiment? So for you to know or find answers to those questions, you have to wait and watch the remaining of the video. So that is a retention technique right there. So whenever one question is answered, a new one appears, just like what I explained. For the remaining of his video, for his pacing, if you're doing Mark related videos, you'll see that his videos are fast but understandable, not too fast, but he makes sure that the pacing is a little bit fast, okay, and it never feels rushed or never feels slow. Now this is how he builds the entire video segment structure. Pay attention to this. So first of all, typically the structure starts with segment 1, which has to do with his hook. So that is where he shows the big payoff. Maybe he blew up something, or he was able to achieve this crazy experiment that no one has ever done. The second thing is segment 2, which is the problem, why it was almost impossible to build, or the problems that you face if you want to build that particular experiment. Now the third thing there is the planning. Mark Rober will take you through how he planned the whole thing. If he planned it with a team or a member or a friend, he will take you through the planning process. So to make sure that you are being carried along and to make sure that you understand every step of that experiment or challenge. Now, the fourth part of the segment is the building. So Mark Ruber, after taking you through the problem, taking you through the planning process, he will take you through how they are going to build this and take you through the whole building process. If there are things that worked, if there are some materials that didn't work, if there are things that he tested and tried and it didn't work, he will take you through the whole building process, and which connects you to the segment 5 of his video, which is the testing. He will try to test it and see if this actually works or if it actually got the result he was expecting, even though it's something that no one has ever built before. Now, that testing period also helps to retain the audience because you will be very, very interested to know if this actually worked. So that is this 5th segment of his video. Now, the 6th segment is the final segment, which is the final review. That is you seeing that whatever and everything that he built actually worked. So Mark Ruber's segment structure has 5 to 6 segments, which has to do with the hook, problem, planning, building, testing, and final review. All these things are the things that makes up his videos. There is another thing that Mark Ruber also uses in his video, which is the pattern interrupts. Okay, so every 20 to 40 seconds in Mark Ruber videos, there is either an animation or a joke or an explosion or a demonstration or new challenge or unexpected failure, and that helps to kind of retrace back to you asking more questions. Sometimes he uses jokes to help you get along so that you will not feel too bored watching those videos, because you know it's a science video, it's a science experiment. So if it's too boring, it will feel like you are in a classroom learning something from the worst professor that you don't want to attend his class. So for Mark Ruber to avoid that, he makes sure that he adds experiments or explosion or some failures or jokes to keep you locked in. His editing style is simple. It has to do with fast cuts, clean graphics, and visual explanations, minimal dead space. He always makes sure that his graphics are clean, high quality. He mainly uses the visuals to explain everything. He uses slow motions in some parts. He uses zoom and all those things to make sure that you get everything captured. If you're editing by yourself or you have an editor, you can actually tell them one of these things. That's if you want to copy Mark Ruber's style of edits. You as a creator, here is one important thing about this playbook that you need to know coming from Mark Ruber and his channel and his team. Structure videos like stories. Mostly all Mark Ruber's videos, you'll see that either he is creating all the experiment to surprise a kid that is surviving from a health issue or something. There is always a story behind every of his video. Maybe he's using it to surprise someone, he's using it to surprise a small kid or someone that is suffering through a health issue or connect us as human beings, and that is where the whole story can be booked off. So we make sure that his experiment always has a strong story that has emotion and connection with the people that are watching the video. This helps you to keep you locked in and watching, to be able to see that he was able to achieve that result of surprising the person or achieving that success in that video. Just to brush a little bit about his viral idea system, which you can use. His idea categories has to do with engineering challenges. Can this be built? So if you want to do his kind of video, you can ask questions and try to find out some things that has not been done before, if you can do it. Another one is giant versions. Okay, what's largest experiments, what these giant, these biggest that, and all that. Science explanation, why does this happen? So sometimes Mark Ruber uses this, and this actually is a viral idea. You can find something, a problem, maybe science related or other problems, then you can make a video about why that particular thing happens, maybe in school or in health, in our health, or in the environment or anything. If you find an answer to that, make a video about it, you can be able to get something out of it. Another one is competitions. That is also another viral idea from Mark Ruber's playbook, which is humans versus machines or humans versus other things. So his main content pillars has to do with science, engineering, curiosity, problem solving, and fun. So these are his main content pillars. Talking about audience psychology, he creates his video in a way that his audience or the people that are watching the videos are learning something without feeling educated. They are being surprised and they are seeing impossible things become possible. So this is the technique that Max uses for his subscriber conversion in every of his videos. So every video promises another adventure, and strong trust has been built. And because you watched this one, it was fun, it was entertaining, you want to subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. So the biggest lesson that you need to learn from Mark Roberts' channel is curiosity is stronger than information. Start with the payoff. Entertainment first, education second. So visual matters more than words. Make viewers ask questions, build recognizable brand, create videos people remember years later. Create curiosity-driven titles. Instead of History of Ancient of Rome, use Why Ancient Rome Collapsed So Fast. You see that these two things are two different things, okay? Use simple thumbnails. One face, one object, one idea. Don't fill up your thumbnail with so much going around. So some people use, you put a word here, you put a text here, you put something here, you put something here, objects everywhere. That will create a whole lot of confusion. So there should be a direct focus on what you want your audience to focus on, and all the attention should be on that. That is why you shouldn't have too much objects or too many crazy things going on your thumbnail. Hook within 10 seconds. That has to do with you showing the results, the problem, and the mastery. Fast. Structure every video as a story. This has to do with problem, journey, solution. This is how to build a video as a story, or structure a video as a story. Focus on viewer curiosity, not subscriber count. This is another important thing on these steps that we need to do. So as a small creator, forget about subscriber count. Focus on building curiosity. Focus on improving your thumbnails. Focus on improving your title. Focus on improving your hook. Focus on working on how to lock in your viewers to create more curiosity, create more questions, and create more retention for your videos. Focus more on the quality of your video and what you're doing, your storytelling structure and style. Forget about the subscriber count. Once you are able to get a good hook, good title, good thumbnail, and your video format is good, your storytelling is getting strong, people will subscribe, okay? And the algorithm will push your video. It sees that people are commenting, people are engaging with your video. People will engage with your video, they will drop a comment, they will ask questions, they will like. Once your video is hitting this point, people will subscribe to your channel. So just forget about the views, forget about the subscriber count, just focus on building the best videos out there. Focus on these things and subscriber count and views will roll in by themselves. Upload consistently. This is where it gets hard as a young creator. This is where it gets so frustrating as a creator. Uploading every day will seem so unnecessary when you are not seeing any results, but that is actually when you need to upload every day. For Mark Rober, he now uploads maybe once in a month, or once in 2 months, once in 3 months. With that, even if he uploads once in 3 months, he will also cover everything that he lost within that whole month, because he is already a top tier creator. But for you as a small creator, you need to upload at least 2 to 3 videos every single week if it's possible. So depending on the kind of content you're creating, this is where the algorithm sees that you are actually serious on building. You actually want to do this thing as a full-time business. So you need to make sure that you are uploading consistently. Even if you're getting 0 views, your 20th video is also doing 0 views, your 100th video is doing 0 views, keep uploading. Keep uploading, and as you keep uploading, make sure that every video is better than each other. Every video you are improving the title, you're improving the thumbnail, you're improving the hook, you're improving your storytelling structure, you're improving your retention format and formulas. These will help you continue to grow. And once the algorithm sees that this creator is consistent, boom, it will just blow you off. Forget about everything that the gurus are saying, these and these are the things that is making you not to blow. Just focus on improving these things. Focus on uploading consistently. Consistency is everything. Make sure you always study your retention graph every single time. Study your retention graph. Mark Rober's biggest advantage is not science, it's retention. Ask after every upload, where did viewers leave? Why did they leave? And how can I keep them watching for longer? You always make sure you ask these questions. Okay, these are the things that will help you. That is your retention graph right there. Okay, try to improve it. Try to solve that problem. Is it too boring? Is it too fast? Is it too slow? Is it too complicated? Is it too long? Whatever. What is the problem? So once you find these things, you can be able to blow up And if you can be able to hold this and do this well for at least 6 to 12 months consecutively and upload consistently, I know that the YouTube algorithm is going to pick up your channel and you're going to be able to start seeing something. Before you know it, you're going to start seeing results, you'll be monetized, and you start making impact on your channel, and you start growing as a creator. So these are the things you need to know from Mark Rober's success playbook on his YouTube channel and journey. Once again, this is Build a Life on YouTube with Zeno the Great. This is a series where we expose everything behind the graph of every successful YouTuber on YouTube, and all you need to know and everything you need to use to improve your own content as a young creator. I'm Zeno the Great, and if you have learned something in today's episode, make sure to subscribe, because in the next episode we are going to be talking about another great creator, which is Ryan Trahan. We're going to be exposing his own playbook and talk about his own content structure and everything you need to know. If you are interested in that, you need to subscribe right now and drop a comment and thoughts. And if you have any other big creator that you want us to look into his playbook or analyze for you or research for you, you can drop that in the comment section. And don't forget to love yourself and keep creating, keep uploading. This is Build a Life on YouTube with Zeno the Great. Stay safe.